How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash the hell out of that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, we're gonna talk this boxing today, man. We got Inoue possibly fighting Fulton, Stephen Fulton Jr. After the Paul Butler fight. He's got to get past Paul Butler. That's a big fight for Inoue. If you guys don't know who Inoue, he's a Japanese fighter, won multiple belts in multiple weight classes. He was on my top pound for pound fighter, right beside Usyk. And he's a big time fighter. You know what I mean? Inoue is a 2-division world champion, which I thought he was more. I thought he was 3-division. But he says he has plans on moving up to 122 pounds. The champions up there is Stephen Fulton Jr., Akhmedov, and after he finishes collecting a final belt at 118 against the WBO champion Paul Butler on December 13th, you guys. That's when they're going down. That's when they're fighting. I'm going to be honest, man. I want to see Inoue fight a guy like, Stephen Fulton Jr., man. I think that'll be a really good fight. I think that'll possibly, those type of fights could possibly put Inoue in the Hall of Fame if he's not already, getting to that level on that Hall of Fame type of status. As you guys all know, Stephen Fulton Jr. Just beat Omar Figueroa's brother. I believe it's Brandon Figueroa. For the WBC belt, I believe. So now Stephen Fulton Jr. has the WBC and the WBO belt. And you guys know in the WBC, if you move up in weight, you automatically get a chance to fight the champion that's in the higher weight class, the very next weight class than you per WBC. And I believe the WBO has that same, same type of setup going down with the WBO. So any way you cut it, it looks like, Inoue will possibly get that shot against Stephen Fulton Jr. That's why I'm talking about this, because it's a fight that definitely possibly can happen in the very, very near future. Like I said, Inoue is fighting December 13th. This could possibly be a fight for this 2023, spring of 2023. I don't know who Stephen Fulton Jr.'s got to fight next. But yeah, man, they're saying pretty much this fight could possibly go down stylistically. I think Inoue matches well with Stephen Fulton Jr., being that Inoue can box and punch. The main key factor to this whole equation, you guys, is can Inoue's power, transfer up into the higher weight classes. We've seen it happen at 118 when he went from 115 to 118. He's at, I believe Inoue has been as low as 112. He's at 112. He was at 115. Now he's at 118. And I believe Stephen Fulton Jr. is at 122. So, wow. I mean, that's almost 10 pounds difference. That's a lot in boxing, man. But smaller weight divisions are, they're real finicky with the weights. 112 to 115, and so forth and so on. I'm gonna be honest, man. I think this is a good fight, man. Inoue says if we fight, it will be a great technical battle. That's what Inoue says about this fight. He says it won't be an easy fight. Fulton has a long reach, and it's about how well I close the distance. He says, I also feel if I move up to 122 pounds, my power will increase, and I can hit even harder. Wow, that's a big feat, man. He's saying that if he moves up, his power will actually hit harder. Which some boxers are scared that their power will not, transfer higher into the higher weight classes. That's why a lot of you see a lot of these guys like Adrian Broner and stuff like that. A lot of people say that Adrian Broner should have, stayed at the 135 and stayed at the 140s and shouldn't have went to 147. And if he did go to 147 to fight Paulo Malignaggi, he should have went directly back down and not face Marcos Maidana which, you know, kind of derailed his career and, you know, sent his career in another direction after losing to Marcus Madonna. And a lot of people need to understand that. But Usyk did it. You know, he came from 200 pounds, which was Usyk actually started his career, I believe, at middleweight. Because you guys know Sean Porter and Usyk fought in the amateurs. So, hey, man, you know, people move up in weight all the time. And, you know, look at Canelo. I mean, Canelo's been up and down. He's been, 152, fighting Mayweather at 152, all the way up to, 175. And possibly, he said he could possibly fight at, cruiserweight, which is at 200 pounds, you guys. Yeah, man, but I really would like to know, what do you think that this fight, how do you think this fight will go down? Stephen Fulton Jr. versus, Naoya Inoue. I know I'm butchering that name. I never could get his name right, really, but he's been one of my favorite fighters for a while now. And what I mean by favorite fighter, I just mean he's been a fighter that you can, you watch and you like. He has devastating knockout power for the smaller divisions, and you just don't see that a lot. You don't see that type of power in those smaller, 112, 113, 112, 115, 118 pound division. That's small, man. That's like half of me. Pause. That's just, dang, that's small. But yeah, man, I would love to know what you guys think. Can his power transfer to another higher division at 122? And does he beat Paul Butler? We seen Paul Butler, do his thing in his last fight. I would love to know what you guys think. Please smash that like button and subscribe. And this is Corley Boxing. Catch you on another one, you guys. Peace.